Yo, what's good, basketball heads? It's your boy Crush. So, Bradley Beal, he got moved to the bench because him in the starting lineup, it wasn't working. We have enough sample size to see that the Phoenix Suns, they are struggling, or they were struggling, but Mike Bud, he moved Bradley Beal to the bench. He got relegated to the bench, and so far have won 4 of their last 5 games. So ever since Bradley Beal went to the bench, they made the adjustment. You are seeing results. And that's what you got to do, man. Put the ego to the side. You have to make the necessary adjustments to win games. You got to do what you got to do. And we all know when it comes to stars and superstars, their egos, they have huge egos, man. So if you are a guy who have been starting your entire career, putting up numbers, and you are used to being that guy, when you're told, you know what, you are going to come off the bench, that's a huge shot to your ego, a la Russell Westbrook. And you are going to be combative. There's going to be pushback, a lot of resistance, because you're like, you know who I am? I'm not coming off the bench. But if Phoenix want to win, that's what they got to do. You got to do what's needed, man. Because having Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant on the floor together, it doesn't work, man. Because Bradley Beal and Devin Booker, they're too similar in their games. So it is more beneficial for him to lead the second unit. It makes more sense. It just makes more sense. So Bradley Beal said Mike Bud tried to sub him out the game late in the 4th quarter. And he was like, he gave him a look like, what are you doing? He was unhappy. So he gave him that stare like, come on, man. And he kept him in the game. And we all know the Suns, they're trying to acquire Jimmy Butler, which they should. I mean, he's a better fit. And if they get Jimmy Butler, that's a definite upgrade. Not saying Bradley Beal is not a pretty solid player. Of course he is. But it's all about the fit. Bradley Beal on the court with Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, it hasn't worked. It don't work. So you got to try something different. And he's making a ton of money. For somebody who's coming off the bench, he's making a ton of money. The same way Russell Westbrook, he was making a ton of money as a Laker coming off the bench. Statistically, Bradley Beal is averaging 17.4 points per game, 4.2 assists, and 3 rebounds over 5 games. And the numbers aren't that far off from what he had early on in the season. But, his willingness to embrace his new role, his willingness to embrace the change has brought a new dynamics to the team. It's all about embracing your new role, doing what's needed to win games. That's it, man. You can't have 3 stars on one team and you're under 500. You're struggling. Like, that's a bad look. You have Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, all that talent on one team, and you're at the bottom of the West. That's horrific. So they just haven't been good, man. This season, last season, because of the fit, coaching, injuries, Kevin Durant being injured, Devin Booker being injured at times. But I can't see Bradley Beal being a Sun for another season. I just don't see it. I know they're trying to move him. They're in hot pursuit of Jimmy Butler. So it's just a matter of time. But at the same time, you got to do your job. You're getting paid a lot of money. You got to go out there and play. You can't really worry about trades, and you can't really stress or worry about that. And you do have a no trade clause. So, it's kind of up to him to relinquish that if they want to move him or make a deal. And that's another issue in itself. The fact he has a no trade clause. If he decides to be difficult, I like it here, I don't want to move. It's a battle he can't win, let's be honest. But if he decides to, push back and he refused to give up his no trade clause, now you have more issues on your hands. So we're going to see how that pan out, man. But this team got to be better. You can't be under 500 with a super team, basically. This is essentially a super team. And they're under 500. That's a bad look. And ever since Kevin Durant left the Warriors, he haven't done anything. He went to Brooklyn, didn't do anything. Had a super team, a crazy super team. Kyrie, James Harden himself. Now he's in Phoenix, and it's the same story, man. This is the 3rd season? Can't seem to advance past the first round in the playoff, that is. and he's just not performing, man. He haven't been able to perform at the level we need him to. And Bradley Beal coming off the bench, it's going to give Kevin Durant and Devin Booker the room they need to operate. Because when you have 3 stars on the floor, it's congested, man. You only have one basketball. If Bradley Beal played a different position, like a power forward, a center, a different position, it would probably work more easier. More than likely, the fit would be more seamless. But being that he's a shooting guard, Devin Booker is a shooting guard, they play similar roles. So now it's a conflict. And like I said, the Suns have won 4 out of 5 games. Ever since Bradley Beal got relegated to the bench and he decided to buy into his role or accept his role, they're winning. They are back to 500. And you have to be committed, man. You have to be committed to winning, that is. You got to be committed to winning. So whatever you got to do, you have to do. I get it. I'm Bradley Beal. I'm a star still, even though his tenure in Phoenix haven't really panned out. But at the end of the day, that's Bradley Beal regardless. Sometimes you got to make the adjustments, man. You got to buy into your role, accept what the coach is trying to do, and more importantly, what the team is trying to accomplish. You just got to buy into it and make the necessary adjustments so y'all can be successful. And so far, he seems to be doing that. They won 4 out of 5 games, which is a step in the right direction. The Suns, they're badly pursuing Jimmy Butler. They want Jimmy Butler. If they manage to get Jimmy Butler, then obviously Bradley Beal won't be in Phoenix anymore because he'll be in the trade if he's willing to relinquish his no trade clause. But first, they got to find a third team that's willing to absorb Bradley Beal's massive contract. They got to find a third suitor if they want to get Jimmy Butler, which they do want Jimmy Butler. So we're going to see how all this pans out. Will Bradley Beal remain in Phoenix? Will they be able to pull off a trade to acquire Jimmy Butler? We're going to see how this all unfolds, man. But as always, I'll holla. As always, we just talking basketball. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share. Holla at your boy.
It's all about the game and how you play it. It's all about the game. I'ma say it. It's all about the game.